Hey everyone, my name is Minus10 and I'm a tech enthusiast that enjoys all gear related to gaming, streaming, and content creation. So today we're going to compare the Razer Blackwidow V4 to the Asus ROG Azoth. If us gamers lived in a bubble, or maybe the clock was turned back a few years, the Blackwidow V4 75% would be a 5-star keyboard, no question. Fortunately, we're living in an era of tremendous keyboard competition with some very, very good options in the marketplace. The Razer Blackwidow really doesn't have a fatal flaw. In fact, it's actually a pretty decent gaming keyboard. The Blackwidow's challenge is where it's positioning itself in the current keyboard marketplace. In my opinion, the current gold standard for mass market 75% keyboards is the Razer Azoth, and you can buy one on Amazon for around $200 as of September 2023. The Blackwidow V4 75% is currently priced on Amazon at $190, and this is really the challenge for the Blackwidow. For only $10 more, gamers can buy a much better keyboard made from better materials, and it's completely customizable. Since Razer is now priced to compete with the Azoth, I thought it would be a good idea to provide a comparison between the Azoth and the Blackwidow V4 and let you know my thoughts on how these two gaming juggernauts compare. Out of the box, the Azoth comes with cherry-like switches that are pre-lubed and has decent stabilizers, dampening materials, and comes in a heavy package that keeps the keyboard grounded. Although I've upgraded my Azoth switches to the Gateron Ink Black V2s, even with the stock ROG NX Blue clicky switches, the Azoth's typing experience was way above average. Gamers can stick with stock or easily upgrade the switches and any other part of the board to get the typing experience wanted. The Razer Blackwidow comes with 3-pin Razer Orange tactile mechanical switches that are factory lubricated, but not very well. The keyboard I received felt very scratchy when typing, and the downward key press did not feel as smooth as the ROG NX Blues. Again, in a bubble or at a lower price point, the Razer Oranges are A-OK, but when compared to the Azoth, the Blackwidow V4 switches come up short. Now, a quick keyboard sound test. The big elephant in the room when it comes to the Blackwidow is it's a wired keyboard. In 2023, a wired keyboard is a very tough sell. Incredibly tough. The Blackwidow performed absolutely fine in game and with all my productivity apps. However, I had to run the keyboard's USB cable through my monitor as my gaming PC is too far away from where the keyboard sits. This pass-through port does add latency, which could be avoided with 2.4 gigahertz wireless connectivity that is very commonplace nowadays. At $190, wireless connectivity is not a huge ask. Beyond just connecting the keyboard, there is the actual cable slinking across the desk. After years on wireless keyboards, I really just cannot go back to a wired keyboard when there's so many great options in the market. In my opinion, Razer really missed a must-have feature by excluding wireless connectivity. As for the overall design, the Blackwidow's keyboard layout is very good, and the delete key is exactly where it should be, upper right, and it's a quick muscle memory learn. No concerns with these design choices. Where I do have concerns with Razer's designers is when they try to make many aspects of the Blackwidow proprietary-ish. The switches are swappable, but you need to buy Razer switches. The wrist rest is another prime example. For some reason, Razer decided to cut the lower part of the keyboard at an angle and create a wrist rest that magnetically connects with an opposing angle. If you like the wrist rest that comes packaged with the Blackwidow, I guess this is okay for a while, but wrist rests wear out pretty quickly, and most likely you'll need to replace the wrist rest that comes with this keyboard. When I attempted to use my standard Glorious wrist rest, it just stuck out too far and really wasn't a wrist rest anymore. In addition, the materials used in the wrist rest were subpar. I found that the Razer wrist rest materials irritated my skin and made it sweat. It really wasn't a very nice feeling, but I do appreciate this may not impact everyone. In regards to the keyboard's overall build quality, based upon Razer's website, the Blackwidow V4 uses all the same materials as the Azoth: steel faceplate, plastic bottoms, and layers of gaskets, pads, and foam. But overall, the quality felt slightly below that of the Azoth. The Blackwidow felt almost plasticky when compared to the Azoth. The Azoth's metal top plate and its plastic base feel very solid, and the keyboard maintains a heavy presence on any desk surface. This heft keeps the keyboard from moving around. If there's a telltale example of the quality differences, it can be seen when comparing the two keyboards' feet. Both keyboards have two flip-out options, but the Azoth has a nice divot between the feet and the keyboard that allows room for your finger to expand the feet. The Blackwidow's feet are snug against the keyboard, and this makes it a bit more difficult to expand. Furthermore, the Blackwidow's feet are much thinner and clearly made of lower quality plastic. Lastly, the AV options. Now, I do prefer the Blackwidow scroll wheel as it has a nice tactile feel and is much easier to control. The pause, play, and next buttons are also preferred over Acer's rocker option. However, one Azoth feature that I have come to use a lot more than I thought I ever would is the Azoth's OLED display. It's a creature comfort for sure, but it's nice to be able to look at the screen, check battery life, see if my caps are locked, check the CPU temperature, and other data that can be scrolled on the OLED display. It's a very nice addition to the Azoth, and it only costs $10 more over the Blackwidow to add this feature. When comparing Razer's Synapse to Asus's Armory Crate, there isn't a real winner, but rather two reminders that us gamers need a one app to rule them all. If I was forced to choose, I'd pick Armory Crate to manage my keyboards, but that's only because a big portion of my PC hardware is made by Asus. Outside of Logitech's G-Hub or SteelSeries GG, most manufacturers' apps that control keyboards and mice settings are overly complex when simplicity should just rule. Razer's Synapse presents gamers with device choices at launch, and from there the Blackwidow can be selected to make a few changes like polling rates and disabling certain keys. The lighting is under a different tab where quick effects can be applied. Overall, I'm just not a fan of the Synapse or Armory Crate software apps, but end of the day, neither are deal killers. So, to wrap this all up, I come back to pricing. In my opinion, Razer missed the mark and priced itself into a category where it's not going to compete very well. If the Blackwidow V4 was priced $30 to $40 lower, my bet is this keyboard would be better received by us Razer fans. As it's priced now, the Blackwidow V4 is competing directly against the Azoth. The ROG Azoth is a 75% keyboard that comes with wireless connectivity, superior pre-loop switches, uses better materials, the keyboard allows for total customization, and you can use any wrist rest you want. As I've mentioned in the past, Armoury Crate is a challenging app to use, but it works, and all the other aspects of the Azoth make it the better 75% keyboard. My bet is it won't be long before Razer lowers its pricing for the Blackwidow V4, and I think it's an excellent option when you can buy it for around $140. I hope my impressions were insightful for your review, and thanks for watching.